Alright guys, so I recently picked up Decidueye just because I'm tired of these updates in this game where I pick up balanced characters such as Machamp, who I love playing, but I just can't compete with the overtuned Pokemon. And with the drop of Miraidon, I just got overly frustrated where I can play the best game I can, but at the end of the day, when I catch that Miraidon one-on-one in a fair fight, he still beats me regardless if I'm outplaying anybody or not. So I picked up Decidueye out of frustration and just decided I'm going to fight from such a long range that I don't even have to worry about that. So my ideal playstyle with Decidueye is I'm using all of my teammates as meat shields. You're going to be in between me and the enemy, and if I can't have that, then most times I'm going to choose not to engage, period, because of how squishy I am. So you see, with Decidueye, it's very important to get that early Gimp if you can. I'm trying to get any farm possible, even if I gotta take some from my lane. Just because with your jungler, if you got that high lead, especially with a Pokemon like Decidueye, where that high damage output with your arrow is gonna be so great and an effective tool for your team, that level lead you have can snowball for your whole team. So me stealing that farm from my lane, it might hurt them early on, but as long as I continue to show up for my team on those major fights, they won't even notice it because we're winning most or all of the objectives, and I'm making sure I'm there to back them up whenever they do engage when I can. So unfortunately, I didn't get a stack. I got attack weight on. I decided maybe a game or two after this to drop attack weight just because I don't want to be in harm's way at all. Because if I'm going to be there stealing farm, prioritizing farm, I don't want to give any chance for that get back XP because it does make a big difference. A lot of Decidueyes are very thirsty for their stacks just because they know how much damage they can output. So they're really going for them, but Decidueye is way too squishy to even be out there thirsty for it because you can get easily punished. So things worked out this game with my stacks, but that's not always the case. And see, I really don't feel like I should have won that. I might have just got lucky. Both that Absol and that Pikachu probably could have made a little bit better decision. But then again, this goes to me stealing farm and getting whatever XP I can, because with that level lead, that damage output, it's just making such a difference. I'm also running Rapid Fire Scarf just so I'm not totally vulnerable when I do get in any close quarters fights. Because Decidueye, he does output so much damage, even if you don't get a chance to get an arrow out, that Rapid Fire Scarf on top of your attack speed just can really save you. And like I said, with that high damage output, that arrow is such a good secure, and it's important to show up if you're gonna be there focusing on farming a lot. I don't like junglers who focus on farm so much they're missing objectives or any major team fights. I will leave most times my jungle with a full farm just to make sure I'm there for my team for an important fight. And see, here you see me going in and out just because I am thirsty for those stacks. And when you remove that attack weight, it also removes the pressure of constantly trying to get closer in for those stacks. It's better to just be out of harm's way entirely. And I do run X speed instead of eject button with Decidueye. A lot of people prefer that eject button just because it is, it can help as a dodge tool as well. But the cooldown on that, I can get about 2 X speeds out, whereas one use with an eject button. And I don't like teleporting all the way back to my home base. I'd much rather use that X speed, back all the way up, create some space, and re-engage in the fight. Whereas with an eject button, let's say you're fighting an Absol, you might get away from that initial attack with that eject button, but some Pokemon can catch you regardless. Whereas with that X speed, you have between that and your Shadow Sneak, because your Shadow Sneak slows an enemy down, also gives you a temporary speed boost. On top of that X speed, there's not a lot of Pokemon that are going to be able to catch you and punish you. It's important with Decidueye that you do a lot of, I don't know if you want to call it random movements, but a lot of players, their movements are so like two-dimensional. It's either up and down or left and right. With Decidueye, you kind of want to switch it up. If a player misses an attack with their special move, a lot of times they are vulnerable because they can't match that up with a combo to get maximum damage or health recovery and things like that. Shout out to that Blissey for keeping me alive, because I certainly could have been punished there. And as you see, I've been down here in this bottom lane for a long while just because my team has managed to stay there and the enemy team has kept coming bottom lane. Whereas my jungle is full. I'd much rather leave that jungle for my teammates that are respawning or teleporting back to base. Go pick that jungle up. If your jungler is not there to get their jungle, immediately do not feel any type of way going to get that or take some of it. I don't think I'm going to be cutting out these times I die, just because I'm going to continue adding commentary. But take the time, add a couple comments. Let me know what you think of the gameplay. Any tips you might have, because like I said, I did just recently pick up Decidueye. All that damage I was putting out, as soon as I was gone, my team was not able to maintain that bottom lane. It's very important that if you're going to have the level lead, if you're going to focus on farming and getting that experience and taking it from your team, do not be out there putting yourself in a position to die, just because that get back XP is just such a big difference. One kill on you, if you're the level lead on your team, is going to give the enemy a fair chance at making a comeback. It's very important to play around your teammates with Decidueye. So, for example, you saw that Umbreon was able to lock in that Absol in place. I tend to focus my gameplay around my teammates that I know have any CC or stun, just because I know I'm gonna get that shot in. Especially if you're a Pokemon that's able to lower special defense of any Pokemon you target, because I know that arrow is gonna deal so much more damage. It's also very important with Decidueye to just keep that constant pressure on with arrows. You don't always have to get a kill shot with the arrow. You might not even hit, but if you create that constant pressure where your enemy knows, hey, like if I'm engaging in any fight, like I'm gonna have an arrow coming my way most likely, then they're gonna be a lot more reserved. They're gonna play a lot safer, fall back a little bit more. That gives your team enough space to play more aggressive, just because they have faith that they know that you're gonna hit anybody that's running up. Yet again, take that time, go ahead and drop a comment, like the video, let me know what you guys think. There we go with that steal on that arrow. I know I was pissing a lot of people off this game on the enemy team just because of how they felt stuck with the pressure from those arrows and the way I was able to secure and steal objectives from them. Because with that raid, it might have been possible for them to make a comeback, but we went ahead and shut down any hope of that with that arrow. And again, that constant pressure of those arrows, I know y'all saw that Talon Flame. He was trying to hit me with that fly a lot, but he wouldn't go all the way in for that fly. He was coming in real close, but right before he dropped, he would just go ahead and retreat with it rather than possibly die trying to get the secure on that kill on me. It wasn't going to be worth it because he might have not pulled it off even if he did hit me with the fly. In that Absol, he would have did a lot more damage in that game, I feel like, just if he didn't have to worry about those arrows coming his way. I noticed a lot he would throw out a Unite trying to make sure he could get me, but just keeping that distance. Even if he did get me with the first couple ticks of that Unite, I was going to be out of there to dodge the rest of it. And with that X speed and that Shadow Sneak, Absol is a very good character at punishing anybody that extends too far, simply because he puts out a lot of damage and a lot of Pokemon can't get away with him. But with that Shadow Sneak boost, speed boost, and that X speed, I was able to make sure I was free of him. We did a lot of damage. The ratio to the damage taken looks pretty good. Let me know what you guys think of the gameplay, and if you want more videos like this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we're out.